My name is Kim McBriar. My students call me Mrs. McBriar. I teach in the United States. I'm in Pennsylvania. I teach a class called STREAM, and this kind of goes along with one of the student questions. So STREAM stands for science, technology, reading, robotics, and research, engineering, arts, math, and music.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm well. How are you this morning? Well, it's evening for you, isn't it? It's later in the day. It's early in the morning here. It's evening for you.
Please allow me to ask question.
Yes, please.
What training do teachers receive for teaching STREAM subjects?
In Pennsylvania, there is no real training for STREAM. You have to be certified in certain teaching areas to be able to teach STREAM. I am certified in quite a few areas. I can teach kids from kindergarten through 6th grade in general subjects. I can teach grades 5 through 7 science, 5 through 7 social studies, 9 through 12 social studies, kindergarten through 12th grade reading, and I also can teach agriculture. So with all of the different certifications I have, I'm able to teach it. Each state is different in the United States on what the certifications are for teaching different subject matters.
What is the difference between STREAM and STEM education?
So the difference is the focus, where STREAM has a robotics, research, and reading focus, and STEM might not have those focuses. I'm going to go to a quiet place. Sorry, I'm going to walk you through my maze here. So yeah, difference is just kind of some of the subject matters that I teach, and the robotics and the research are going to be the two big ones.
Question, ma'am.
Yes, please.
How do you teach STREAM at school?
Well, usually whenever I start teaching a lesson, I start with a question, and I allow my students to brainstorm possible answers to those questions, and then they can research, they can test their theories to see if what they brainstormed is true. If not, they can always go back, re-research, and change their answers so that they can come to a correct answer.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
This is Husniya, a 6th grader. Can I ask question, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Do you think that this STEAM education is able to produce global citizens?
I don't think by itself it's going to create global citizens. I'm not sure how your education system is put together, but our students have a lot of different teachers with a lot of different subjects. So I'm just one of many teachers that my students see through the day. They might have one teacher that they have for most of the day, and then they come to me. Or in some of our upper grades, they could have up to 4 or 5 subject area teachers before they see me. So I think having the exposure to lots of different adults, different ideas, different experiences, I think those are what's going to make a global citizen. Hello.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm fine, ma'am. Glad to interact with you, ma'am. This is Subramanian Srinivas, a 7th grade student. I would like to ask a question, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead and ask your question.
How does STEAM education help students in the future?
I think there's a lot of different ideas about how STEAM education will help students. What we're focusing on is building critical thinking skills and problem solving skills with students. Again, I'm not sure how your education system is put together, but it seems like a lot of our students don't do very well with coming up with problems, solving solutions, using their imaginations, things like that. So that's one of the things that I try to encourage.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Hello.
This is Durga Sai. I am glad to interact with you. Can I ask a question, ma'am?
Yes, please.
My question is, what is the role of critical thinking in our current education system?
Not all schools have this stream, or maybe you've heard of STEM, STEAM. Those are all part of the same group of study. It's not required in every school. I find it to be important because I see the benefits of it with my students, but I think it depends on whether or not a school system can afford to have that program in their school.
Okay.
Hello.
My name is Saithya, a 7th grader. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Do science and math lessons overlap?
I try really hard when I'm developing my lessons that the science and the math and the technology and all of those things kind of overlap one another, because I want students to apply their understanding to solve problems. So yes, they do overlap.
Thank you.
Hello.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm well. How are you today?
I am fine, ma'am.
What's your question?
This is Krishna, ma'am, a 6th grader. I would like to ask a question, ma'am.
Please.
Why is STEAM education important?
STREAM education is important because students need to be problem solvers. They need to be critical thinkers. And whenever we're looking at careers that are available, we need students who are able to be engineers and mathematicians and those problem solvers and innovators. So I believe that this class helps to push those students and help them to see that their talents can be used for something in a career.
Okay, thank you.
Could you please tell us a few tips to promote positive things?
I'm so glad that you asked that question. In our school, we have a group of people who promote positive thinking, and I'm actually a part of that group. It's called School-Wide Positive Behavior, and the positive thinking, I think if we are positive thinkers, it's going to be a good thing for us. I say if you're looking for red cars, you're always going to see red cars. So if you're thinking positive, you're going to find the good in situations. Sometimes things can be really difficult, but everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. So you might have a problem right now. Maybe you're struggling with some subject or how to solve a math problem. And as long as you understand that you have people around you who are going to help you, support you, teach you, you are going to get to the end of that problem. And then you'll have grown and you're ready to take on the next hard thing. Every one of you were made to be able to solve hard problems.
This is K. Gagan Sahitya, a 7th grader. Nice
Hi,
to meet
Gagan.
you.
Nice to meet you too.
Do all American schools follow STEAM education?
They do not. It is the choice of the school system. The way that schools work in the United States is it's divided into districts, and different states have districts that are by county. The district that I teach in has about 2,000 students total. So it's a smaller system, and we have a group of people who make the choices for that school system called our School Board of Education. And so it's really up to those people to decide how they want to spend the money to give resources to students. So
Yes.
our students, I think, are very lucky.
Yes, absolutely, they are lucky. And could you And I have a question actually. So these stream and STEM subjects, they create a lot of critical thinking and positive thinking among the young minds. So what do these kids, when they grow up, want to become, and what kind of professionals are they going to become? And do you think that these are all the kids, they are going to opt the professions that are badly needed for this world?
Some of the professions that can come out of an interest in STEM, STEAM stream are could be computer programmers, engineers, mathematicians, the arts. And this is my personal belief, is that all of our sciences are going to start with art, because that creativity, the art teacher here from my building is sitting on the other side of the room cheering. But really, art is what starts it all. If you look at Fibonacci numbers and different things like that, it all started with art. So the creativity is needed, the ability to fail without feeling like a failure, to have the perseverance to want to continue working to achieve whatever the goal is. So yeah, I think, being able to produce strong, I'm going to say strong-willed learners that don't feel defeated and will continue to work hard. That's my goal for my students.
Thank you. So stream is nothing but incorporation of different subjects. So each teacher has to know the other subjects because he has to incorporate and he has to engage the student in order to impart the different subjects in a nutshell. So do you think that a teacher of 21st century, especially the teacher who teaches the stream subjects, needs to know multiple subjects in order to give the students the stream subjects, stream education?
Yes, I do. And I think you have to be willing to learn as a teacher yourself, because I don't know everything. My students might ask me questions that I'm not certain about. So I'm continuing to learn all of the time. And I don't claim to be an expert on anything. Yes, my students have to be able to complete math problems. Yes, they need to understand science concepts. Yes, they need to understand computer coding. But we're all learning together. I facilitate that learning a lot of the time. And I have students who have deeper interests in coding. So I look for resources for them to build on, that interest that they have. So yeah, you would have to have some knowledge of all of those things.
Yes. If you observe a student and who is not coming to the school regularly, maybe because of the family issues or any other issues, do you visit their homes and just to counsel the parents and the students? And if it happens, how often and how frequently do you visit their homes?
We have had these situations where a student will have a very high absenteeism and lots of days in a row. And usually a phone call is made first to kind of check in to find out if there's a medical issue. And if, just periodically check in if it is a medical issue. If there's no real communication, then a principal or a guidance counselor might go and do a home visit. We have a group, it's called Children and Youth Services. It's an outside agency. So schools are able to call that outside agency and they'll do a home visit. So we do have some resources that we can use, and we do use our own in-school resources as well.
Okay. Your students and the happiest moments and sad moment as a teacher so far?
Gosh, that's a good question. So probably the saddest moments are when we have students pass away, whether it is because they can no longer handle the pressures, or if it's by some type of accident. Unfortunately, in our school district, we've lost several students to different reasons. Some of them health related, some of them not. So those are probably the saddest times. The happiest times, I have so much fun teaching my kids every day. I don't know that I can come up with just one thing. I do enjoy what I do, and I have a lot of fun with my co-teachers too. So this is a really happy place for me. I enjoy coming to school every day. I enjoy interacting with everyone. But I don't know if I have just one. I think actually yesterday, this is not an in-school thing, it's an out-of-school thing, but I was shopping and I looked up and there was a girl looking at me, you know, from across the store a little ways, and she said hi to me and I said hello back, and I recognized her as a former student. So we just kept on shopping and actually met up at another place in the store, and then her friend was with her, and she said, oh, I was just telling my friend that I got to see my favorite science teacher. And like, that's just so heartwarming, and just I love that. And that's what I want to be for my kids. I want them to see me, and I want them to remember like school being a fun, exciting, enjoyable time.
So yes, what do you think is the real strength in you? Because every teacher has a unique quality, you may say, the potentials. So I may have a good quality to attract the students. So what do you think you have a great strength? I think I have just heard from you that one of your students is still adoring you as a great teacher. Of course, they never forget the great teachers in their lifetime. They do remember, they do share their great teachers with their friends and even with the family members. So that is the great asset for us. Actually, we don't know how much we earn as a teacher, but that kind of asset is a lifetime achievement for us, in fact.
Yes. Well, like the art teacher sitting across the room from me, and she said, listening to the question, she said that she thinks that it's compassion. I want the kids to realize I'm a big kid too. I'm still learning just like they are. We're here to just be who we are, and grow those talents and those strengths that we have. Enjoy. I don't ever want a student to dread coming to my room or avoid me. I want to be that teacher that the kids are excited to see, because hey, who knows what we're going to do today? It could be we're making snowflakes, it could be that we're coding. We'll just see what happens.
Thank you so much for your time, and exactly 2 minutes time is left. Could you please give a final message to my students?
I enjoy these meetings that we have. It is really interesting for me to get to see all of you and listen to your questions and see your points of view. You're all very respectful. I kind of wish that you could come and teach my students how to behave this way because they don't behave the same way you do. I hope that you all are doing well, and I hope that you are kind of finding the thing that is your passion and that you're following it. Don't give in to the pressures. If you need help, please talk to someone. If you feel like things are too much of a burden for you, you need to find someone who you can talk to, because every single one of you is important. Every single one of you has something to contribute, and the world will not be the same place without you.